Let's talk about the new early game meta. Honestly, I think the early game is kind of like a meme at this point, even just with the well. Without the well, you can still kind of make it into a meme, but with the well, you're looking at some crazy things. Like I have Lance Power 3 and Sword Power 3 this early on without using DLC. I deleted all of the DLC stuff that the game hands you. This is just from getting a tier 3 and then 2 tier 4 wells. So we have insane damage output, and I'm just going to be running 4 units on this. If Jade dies, it doesn't matter at all. I'm not going to be using her. This is a 7-man run. But I'm going to be talking about different things while doing each of the chapters in this particular 7-man run. So I think the new metagame is Lance, Sword, and potentially Axe Power. These abilities are so powerful. The fact that you can get Sword and Lance Power 3 on Chloe and Alir this early, in of itself, breaks the entire middle game, and then by the time you get Sigurd back, you can easily get Lance Power 5, which is plus 10 damage per hit. And then by the time you get Roy back, you can get Sword Power 5. So as you enter the endgame, both of these units, or any units that run a power ability, get plus 10 damage per hit. So any unit who has trouble dealing damage now hits pretty hard. So it's pretty crazy. The early game meta, I think, is nothing like what people think it is, unless they just funnel XP into power carries, which I think is what the early game meta is. So I know I'm going to be using Chloe, for example, so I'm just going to have her and Alir level up. All these other units that I'm using are going to be run. So Fram, she makes the cut, for example. So she's just going to chill out. But I think it's the case that the fewer units you run that are combat units, the better. Because you want snowballed units that can easily one round and kill things, that have crazy stats. And they essentially are a lightning rod for resource management, like resource investment. And this is true of SP, of engravings, of weapons, of literally everything. So you're better off running, I want to say like 6 to 8, 8 being the higher end, of like 6 to 8 units. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, let's go here. She has L Thunder equipped right now. Alright, so she's not able to double yet, which is kind of funny. At least not these. These are very fast. Yeah, they're 15 speed. She can, however... She's not level 5 yet, so she's not going to hit the Chaos style. This particular Anner. So she can kind of do some things. But I bet Alir can just kind of chill out here and kill these. Very likely. But I think the new early game... Look at that, 31 damage in a single hit. That's ridiculous. The new early game is going to be dominated by just like power leveling things. I can't really see it being any different. Oh, I should have given her Micaiah. I don't know why. She has... Or, I'm sorry, Celica. I always get them confused for some reason. But I'm pretty sure the early game is going to be dominated by this type of thing, where if you want to be remotely optimal, you'll just use a few units, get them leveled up, and get their abilities online as early as possible. Because getting Sword, like just having this, it literally doesn't matter how good another unit is. If I have a unit that has this, this is the equivalent of having insane base stats, right? This is the equivalent of having like really high strength. So just by virtue of having that, you're improving your offense substantially. Like she can just one-shot things. She doubles them, but she also can one-shot them, which is crazy. Alright, let's see what we're doing here. Alright, they're hitting Jade. She actually almost killed that. We enemy phase in a tree. That dude had no chance of really hurting us anyways. He's going after Anner. She needs to level up a bit to get her speed up, but she's getting there. Yeah, just 4 units. Like, having strong units, having fewer stronger units is definitely better. And the early attack and lance, or the early sword and lance power completely changes everything. And honestly, like, this changes crafting too, because before, there were some pros and cons of running silver versus steel weapons. Now steel is just better, because when the steel damage starts to fall off late game, it can just be compensated by running, you know, sword and lance power, which is the equivalent of having higher base damage, you know? So there's really no upside at all to using silver weapons because they're just so heavy. So units that can't reliably use them have no reason for doing so. Have no reason to try to use them. So if you have a unit who would benefit from the increased damage of a silver weapon, and some do, they basically lose all advantages. So they lose all the advantages of running a silver weapon because there's just no point to running a silver weapon now because of sword power. Like, why would you run a silver sword and deal with its higher upgrade costs and its higher weight when you could just use a steel sword, get its weight down so that it weighs nothing, and deal with that? You know, like, that's just way more effective. It's much easier to do that. Alright, is Anna dead here? I think I've killed her on accident. These should have switched abilities. She should be able to heal at range. She doesn't need the healing. So that's a mistake on my part. If it turns out to be the case that we can't keep her alive. Now, I can obstruct, but I don't think it's enough. Let's see. Oh, I can obstruct that? Okay, that works. Pretty sure she can tank a single dude there. What I should be doing is pushing a flank, but I'm kind of just diving into the center. There we go. Yeah, 30 damage times 2 this early. The other thing, too, is if you use the hero weapons, like the Fire Emblem Heroes weapons, those are crazy good. Alright, Jade died. That's unfortunate. It's actually going to be easier that she's dead, because now I can just hold whatever position I want and deal with the enemies as I see fit. So, it's actually a good thing she died. Okay, let's go for an attack here. I'll damage boost off of Alear. So Alear will kill this. We'll get the damage boost, last hit the one thing, and then Chloe will dive bomb the mage. I'm starting to wonder how many units you really need, though, after doing the one challenge run. It's definitely way fewer than it seems. It's like the 5-man, the DLC did help a lot, but the main emblems the main emblems that helped carry the run were like Ike, Lucina, Byleth. These are all in the base game, right? So it's kind of interesting how different the game is when running powerful units. Because I feel like in games like Three Houses, you are greatly rewarded for having everyone kind of caught up with each other, it seems. At least that's my own personal experience with Three Houses. Like, you still want hard carries and snowballed units, but you want to have most of your team be, like, strong units, right? Because there's not, like, engravings, there's not all these finite things that you have to play around with and min-max in order to be effective. So, because those aren't in play, you can kind of just generically level dudes up, get them to be, you know, a certain level of effectiveness, give them silver weapons, and upgrade those silver weapons, and so on. Alright, we got some thieves coming in, so let's kind of move over here. It's definitely interesting going from Three Houses to this game, because they're drastically different games, for sure. Three Houses has kind of this, like, unit de-emphasis where it doesn't really matter who you run as long as they have good growths and good bases, and the rest, like, everyone is just kind of generic in a way, whereas in this game, the availability is drastically different. It's closer to how some of the older Fire Emblems are, where you get certain units at certain points in time, and to some degree that's in Three Houses, but it's not really that much of an issue. So, alright, what do we got? Steel Dagger, card. The card can crit, so we don't really like that. However, I have an idea. Just to draw them in. I mean, I can kill one. Kind of get out. Not really. Alright, so Let's see what their hit rates are. I want to see if I can just avoid tank them. All right, they're actually pretty accurate. So there are a few ways to hit them. I could use obstruct. I can just straight up kill one. Just like kill this guy. Just like smack him. Chloe is my best unit right now. Well, maybe not. Maybe she's tied with Alear. Okay, and then if I want, I can obstruct. It can still attack through the right route, so we'll see. It can like go like this. That's okay though. We'll just dive bomb them after they attack us. But this early sword power thing is pretty crazy, because before you couldn't even dream of getting this. You could maybe hit 1k SP before the well. Now that the well is a thing, you can easily hit 3k SP on 2 units to get them this high. And this is without XP farming, so keep that in mind. This is literally just playing the game normally and using the well. I was able to achieve these results. And then here I can do something like this. And look at this. Look at this damage output on armors. The lance power. The lance power is everywhere. It's proccing everywhere. Look at that, 22 damage. Now she does have high base strength because she's on Griffin Knight actually. She's not even on, she has 16 strength. The lance power is just this crazy. Plus the momentum damage, so you're looking at a lot of different sources of damage here. Okay, now can Fram... Alright, she can do this. She can warp Ragnarok. She's known for that. Fram is known for warp Ragnaroking things. It's what she's good at. She excels in warp Ragnaroking. Alright, we're gonna kill this guy, and then we're gonna smack the boss with an Armor Slayer, so that if the armors come in, they get punished for attacking Alear. And I think I can... Yeah, I'll do this. Can I one-round him with Armor Slayer? I can almost... Alright, so I can kill him this way. I'm gonna Lodestar Rush him with Armor Slayer. So all the armors will farm themselves, like any of them who can get through. The other thing too is like Armor Slayer, like stuff like Armor Slayer with sword power is super dumb. Look at it. She's hitting right through their armor like it's nothing. They both just look at this damage. 32 damage. Because it's effective damage. So when you scale an Armor Slayer, it's insane. Like they can't survive it. It's so much damage. Nothing. It's literally better than Magic. I remember there was like this meme going around where people were saying like, oh my god, Magic is so good in this game. No, dude. Not anymore, because I can just walk up to a guy with an Armor Slayer and deal way better damage than mages. It's not even close anymore. It's crazy how good it is. The damage output difference is insane. Like, you don't even need mages. Like, honestly, the only reason I'm even running Anna is because she is going to get sword power on Levin Sword. And even then, I actually might replace her. I don't know, though. She does have Fram supports. I don't know who I'd replace her with. It's kind of too late to run Lapis, I think, because I would have had to have Master Sealed Lapis instead of Anna. Right, let's do this. Here you go. But I'm starting to think that Magic's not even really good. Now that the well... Alright, it's still viable, it's still good in a way, but I think that the well has changed things so much. Can you just kill him? If you can just kill him, I'll allow it. Can you brave him? Oh my god, that's disgusting. If it hits. Let's see if we hit. He's dodgy. Oh my god, dude. Because it's +6, it's momentum damage on the first hit, and then it's +6 per hit. So you're looking at, I don't know, +9 from momentum or something, like +7 from momentum, and then +12 from the Brave. Brave weapons are now crazy! So before, like, Brave weapons were good, but only certain units could really leverage them. Now, it seems that anyone with, like, think about it. If you have Lance Power 5 and you use a Brave weapon, that's +40 damage if you quad. That's plus 40 damage. And then also consider Chloe's passive. If she triggers Fairy Tale Folklore or whatever, or Fairy Tale Folk, is that what it is? You're talking +15 plus 12 damage per hit, plus 48 damage, and then if she's standing next to a Leer, you're talking about 60 guaranteed damage from just existing with a Brave weapon. That's absolutely ridiculous. Alright, let's heal her. That's so stupid. Oh yeah, and then this, we're gonna do this, of course, like stab and then escape. I feel like she's overfed right now, though, so let's start feeding other people. Like a Leer, get in there. But it's crazy how good it is. It makes Brave weapons insane. It changes the meta completely. Just the well. Though, I mean, we all knew the well was going to change everything. But I don't think a lot of us realized how much it was going to change. Just do a great sack. It's free level up. Let's get some speed, maybe. Not yet. Alright, have a mend. There you go. We're gonna enemy phase this dude. Yeah, the sword power is just ridiculous. Effective damage with the power abilities is just not okay. It's way too good. Alright, so I have some ideas. Kill one, armor slay a second, kill a third, obstruct the last. I think we do that. Alright, so we will... I guess I can use Nosferatu for fun. Suppose I could just Nos tank all of them and kill the mage. Alright, then she can dive bomb the mage, who is supposed to counter her, but I'm sure she kills in one hit because the damage output. It's crazy. I don't know what to think about this well. On one end, it does completely fix the SP, like how hard it is to get SP, so it fixes the SP issue. But on the other hand, it seemingly breaks the game. Like, a lot of these updates just keep destabilizing the game for whatever reason. Alright, I'm just gonna Chain Guard. Just see what they go for. Oh, they're going for a Flame Lance? Oh no. Oh no. Alright, he suicided on Anna, who's Nosferatu tanking. Which is also overkill. Just knowing to do that is overkill, I think. Fram's about to level up from just healing people the whole time, which is fantastic. That's all she's done is just healed people and chain guarded, and she's gotten herself to level 12. It's not bad. Alright, you about to level up, so you might as well level up. Alright, now we have alts. Busy Man is getting busy. Okay, that's a pretty good level up. It's pretty solid. Alright, so the most of the most of the map? Most of the map is routed. I said most of the rap. Let's say most of the rap is mouted, which is not English at all. It like sounds like words, but it's just not. Most of the rap. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this bad boy up here. But I just kind of wanted to demo how crazy. So this is two things, right? It's like a discussion video and it's something else as well. No, it's the it's also going over, you know, how the metagame changes with these updates. Wave 4 is going to be kind of crazy. I'm not really sure how to feel about it because like I just know what's going to happen because it's what's happened the whole time. It's what's been happening. So here's what's going to happen with Wave 4. They're going to release, you know, Wave 4 is going to be new mechanics and it's going to be broken, right? It has to be. It has to be broken. There's no way it's not going to be. From what I understand, you get more... Oh, it's chain guarded. All right, you get more more units, potentially. Like, when you beat the side quest thing, you can get more units. So if you can get more units... Okay, she can't steal sword. If you can get more units, obviously the game is going to become easier because then you have more choices to make for who you're running. So if you can choose who you're using early on and ditch the bad early units, then, you know, the game's going to become easier again. So, like, they keep doing this. Now, I do want to try out the new stuff, but I have a feeling it's going to break the game even more. And it seems to be the case that each new wave doesn't make the game harder and just continually makes the game easier. Now, I'm hoping there's going to be a new difficulty. If they do that, that would be perfect. But it seems to be the case that they're just continually making the game easier for whatever reason. All right, let's do this. We'll warp Ragnarok this guy. Get his little item there. We'll take that. Some free XP as well. Then we'll nuke the boss down to wrap up. But I'm hoping the new DLC doesn't make the game easier, because like I didn't think the well would do this much. Like I thought it'd just be like this whatever thing. But by getting tier 4 wells, you're just like getting these crazy abilities. And if you just tier 4 the entire playthrough, like let's actually check the well after this really quick just to see what we get. Because I've gotten Master Seals before Chapter 10 before. So if I get a Master Seal, that's, I mean, it's not the biggest deal. It's just like, you know, someone gets upgraded for Chapter 11, which is kind of turned into a meme by this point. It was pretty hard, but a lot of people, we figured out a lot of different tactics you can use. All right, let's get these items here. 300 iron. So even just knowing how to donate, like that's huge. 20 steel. There's a lot of things you can do to min-max the game. And I think that the game, like a lot of the Fire Emblem games, are more about min-maxing than they are about strategy. I think that there's still strategy in the games, but I think the min-maxing, if you can min-max effectively, you can min-max the strategy out of the equation, and you can play sloppy and make bad decisions and still win easily. So it's definitely the case that the more min-maxing that's present in a Fire Emblem game, the more opportunities you have to reduce the difficulty. All right, let's go check the well. Let's see what we got here. Because like you can take the best player in the game and hand them a bunch of terrible units that have like, you know, wasted all of their resources, and they can beat stuff, but it's gonna be really hard. All right, here we go. So this is like an example of a bad tier 4, but I still got 600 SP, which is perfectly fine. And then what I do is I just drop in whatever items I don't care about. So let's drop like one of these in. I don't like killer weapons. Let's drop that in. Let's drop this in. Just gotta get it over. Look at that. So this is what I'm dropping in. So I don't even care if I lose this. It's junk. The other thing too is because of sword power, lance power, and axe power, you really should just be upgrading like a steel weapon if you're going for base damage, like if you're not going for like a crit or something. Because you get so much damage from those abilities that it doesn't make sense to not go for tier 4 wells to get the SP books. Because every time you get the 1000 SP book, that's the equivalent of another +2 damage or +4 damage when doubling, because each rank in sword, lance, and axe power is 1k SP. So if you get one of these things at least like every couple of chapters, in addition to 500 SP books, which are very common, you're looking at serious SP gain and the drastic scaling of damage on key units in your party. And losing 10 Avoid for that much damage, 10 Avoid is nothing. It doesn't even matter, especially because Bonded Shield is a thing. So there's literally no downside. And it also works on magical weapons, so it's pretty silly. So for example, if I upgrade this to 11 sword, and I'll get her build plus as well, I think that makes sense. She's at 1000 SP, so I can get her. Let me see what kind of things we have. So here's like an example of how you'd build Anna here. So we have 700 SP, so I could get her build. So this would be the last thing I could do. I could get her build +4 or whatever, or build +3, and then sword power 1, and then switch her, upgrade that steel sword into 11, and maybe inscribe. I put the inscription on the wrong thing, or the engraving. So you'd build something like this. So we would engrave it before we upgrade it. Steel sword. Sure. Okay, and then we want to refine it. Make 11 sword. Cool. And then if I want to, whoops, refine it further, like increase its stats, I could do that. Yeah, look at how high you can get this thing. So I actually the game gives you 20 silver as part of the DLC. Basically, as long as I'm above 20 silver, I'm at 0. So I would have to pay money to get rid of it. So that's what I'm doing this playthrough. But look at this. All right, so there's her weapon for the rest of the game. There's Anna's weapon for the entire game. Then we can improve its damage with sword power. And you can't easily do this with tomes. So honestly, I think tomes have fallen off the metagame. If we're being like efficient, this is no DLC as well. So we can go to like Emblem, Anna. We can go to Roy. Just get her to this. So I can at least get her. I can get her build temporarily, or I can just not run build. It's really up to me as to what I want to do here. Because I didn't get a ton of SP, but I was still able to... I'll get her sword power 1. So it's +2 damage. Eventually she'll get sword power, 5. But sword power 1 is just 1k, so we'll get that. It's +2 damage. So we go to Anna. Yeah, that's right here. Alright, so now she's +2 damage when attacking. And then if I want to, I could go for the build. Build +3 is only 500. I could hold on to it and go for speed, which is just better. So after chapter... what is it? How heavy is this thing? So reduce your speed to 11. Let's see. Weight 10. Okay, she probably will get a build soon. I think she's at 6 build. Yeah, she should get a build pretty soon. I might as well get her the extra build. I don't know that I'll need it, though. I don't think she'll be at speed threshold. She's going to have a rough start. Honestly, I might just replace her with Pandreo. Because it's less investment and he has higher build. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. I just wanted to talk about the new metagame. And how the well has changed even just like a low man run. Like all these builds are... Like even the other thing, too, is like stuff like Rider's Bane. Because it's effective damage, so like your Rider's Banes and Armor Slayers are now like way better. Like they're already pretty good and pretty cheap to upgrade. Now they're just way better. So yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll drop her for Pandreo. She does have supports with Fram though, so like long term it kind of makes more sense to run Anna. So I guess I'll keep her, but yeah, that's it for this one. Definitely like and subscribe if you enjoy these, find them useful. Feel free to drop a comment, and I'll see you next one.